Good morning. Again, hopefully everyone's having a good Friday. Hopefully your week didn't go too bad and you're looking forward to the weekend now. Today, we're going to be going through both the live content reveal that they did, as well as going through the patch notes. However, for the YouTube side, I'm going to be separating these into two separate videos. So we're going to be going through this first, which is the Last of the Druids, which is patch 0.4.0. We're going to be taking a look at this. All right.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director
Hey,
on
Jonathan.
Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for.
We have
So
been.
let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
I'll be trying not to pause as much as I can, but... Oh. But...
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
Oh, so we're really getting into the mist here.
What's wrong?
Yeah, if there's a
with
guy able to walk around
He's
Rayclassed
lost his bloody mind.
with everything else, I don't know if bullying him is the best scenario for you. Let's go. Oh, the transitions look smoother now too. Werewolf is ice theme, looks like. I guess that makes sense, like moon. Let's see, lightning storms and flame totems. We got a dragon. Or Drake, maybe? Oh. Oh, that's cool. Well, we already knew we were playing a druid for sure to test out all the new stuff, but that looks cool. I wonder if you can add different elements to them. Like, we saw the Drake shoot lightning and the fire breath. I wonder if you can change the elements.
I will find you,
Maybe with the unique.
Eve.
December 12th.
Now, as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity.
Aw.
The Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As
I
well as
bet.
having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the Druid typically uses magical
range one.
staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world.
I see the vines
One of
too,
the
that's
first
cool.
skills you will learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth. This
Oh,
skill
nice.
spits out balls of magma at your enemies. and
I
will
think they
continue
showed
to do so
this,
for some
where you could
time.
rampage with the bear, right?
While the volcano is active, turn into an animal
Yeah.
and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out.
That's good.
But how do you turn into an animal, you may ask?
So these
Well,
are
the answer
talismans?
is a new weapon type that druids use,
Yep.
animal talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form
Oh,
you would like
that's
the
cool.
talisman to represent. Depending on what you choose, you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip. For a bear, that's maul.
It's cool because then we don't
To
need
turn into a
multiple
bear,
different
simply use the
talismans for
skill.
each type,
Your
and you can
character will
have
instantly
multiple
transform into a bear
transformations
and attack.
on one
If you want to
talisman.
change back to a human, just cast a spell. You will instantly
Nice.
swap back and cast it. We wanted to make sure that swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle.
So I'm just going to pause, which is really good because last league, I believe, was when they got rid of the weapon swap timer. So that lends into this very well.
In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way. The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect for use with your bear form's furious slam. While in bear form, many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with maul.
I see the red rage bar by the mana.
Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your furious slam.
Visual indicators, nice.
Your bear form can also go on a rampage, stomping the ground as you demolish your foes.
Oh, they added the dodge to it. I just saw the bear. That looks cool.
The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts.
I don't think we saw that
Doing it over
before.
a volcano makes it even better. As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like
Made
Ferocious
3.
Roar. Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The
That's
more
nice.
endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket
Oh.
any warcry gem from another class into it, giving
Okay, sorry. So, any other... I wonder if you can put multiple in, or it's limited to one. Because then you could stack multiple war cries in there at once. That'd be cool.
you the ability to use these skills as a bear. Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
I'm thinking it's one at a time because they're only showing one at a time, but we'll have to
Or
see.
use Seismic Cry to stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
That's cool.
You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Khal.
That's
Ever
cool.
wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well, wait no longer. Finally, build up enough rage and you can use one of the bear's ultimate abilities.
One of?
Walking Calamity.
Okay.
This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time,
Oh,
while
that's cool.
generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear apocalypse. Now, the bear is known for being a slower and more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams. But what if you want to turn into something a little more nimble? Well, let's check out the second animal form for the druid, wolf form. For the wolf form, we wanted to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic
Oh.
attack will leap forward and rake his foes.
So that's a question that I had that I haven't seen them talk about yet, is the talisman. I'll go back after. I don't want to jump back and forth in the video just yet. Do the talismans dictate your attack speed, or does the form? Because you can't have another weapon while you have your talisman out. Right? Because when you're weapon swapping into the talisman, which is two-handed. So I wonder if the forms have a set attack speed. Huh.
After attacking, the wolf stands up on two
'Cause
legs.
he's
but
attacking
after
so much
running for a
faster.
short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing him to
Oh,
move
that's
more
cool.
quickly between packs of enemies. The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon.
Oh, it
The
is the
first
moon,
of
okay.
these is Lunar Assault. It's great
Makes
for
sense.
freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards of ice off your enemies,
Oh.
which land on the ground nearby.
We
And
can make
explode.
our ice cluster again.
If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them. Killing the
Also
marked
saw
enemy
the,
will summon a wolf
bunch of
into your
doggos
side,
earlier.
allowing
Oh,
them
here.
to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves you have.
I
So
wonder
make sure you keep your
what
pack
the
strong.
limit is.
Now, one problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You
That's
often
true.
don't have any enemies that you
So
can mark
kill.
and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their ability.
Any marks.
This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without
So you
killing
could
it.
do like a multi-mark.
Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can.
That's
then follow
cool.
up with cross slash to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your enemies. If they're still alive
I'm
after
looking
that,
forward to
your
seeing all
pack of
the
wolves can
uniques.
finish them off. Just like with the bear's raw skill earlier that allows you to use skills from other classes, Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from.
And I just noticed this, that if you look at the talisman now, it has all three. So I wonder if the Wyvern, Dragon, Drake, whatever they're going to call it, I wonder if that's level locked. Like, you need to have a certain level of talisman before you get access to it, because the other one only had 2 forms.
Other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce.
But that's cool.
After pouncing at an enemy, cross slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time.
That also follows my previous question, though, of can you have
The wolf has
multiple
many
marks?
other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as well.
Nice.
You can also use it to freeze enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos. Finally, the wolf also has the ability to call down the power of the moon to transform into
that
an
looks
Arctic
cool.
werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form, so you could try a hybrid bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect.
Yeah, it lasts for like 10 seconds now. That's so cool. I like the
Right.
jump in and
Let's
out.
talk about the third form available to the druid, and I think it's a cool one. The Wyvern.
Wyvern,
The
okay.
Wyvern has a number of long-range breath abilities, but that doesn't mean you can't get into melee range when you want to. The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your lethal talons. If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage.
Nice.
After the battle, though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges.
That's cool.
And this is when the Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this
That's
do a bunch
cool.
of damage, but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack.
Yeah, it's like a cone.
Once your wings are charged, your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage. If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh
Oh,
meat
it's
is
got
much
an
tastier
execute.
after all. Alright, so those are some melee options. But how about range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all. Rolling
That's fair.
Magma is the first of the Wyvern's breath attacks.
Rolling magma.
Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground.
That's funny.
These balls
Oh.
will trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a good idea to cast one as a human right before you start
That's
spitting.
cool.
But that's not all you can spit. You
I'm
have
kind of
something a
sad that we
little
haven't seen many
nastier
ice
in that
moves on the
goal of
Drake,
yours.
though. So I guess
Spitting
makes
a
sense.
barrage of oil at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite.
So kind of like oil grenade.
If you have power charges, though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The
Oh,
more
it's the
power
same
charges
one.
you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at range. You're vulnerable to melee attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that, let's take a quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power
Oh,
of
I like the
nature
animation
to
for
create
that. That's cool.
entangling vines to slow down your enemies. Another of nature's punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet. Why is that useful?
static-
Well, of course,
status
things that are
effect?
wet are easier to shock.
Yeah.
Use it with lightning damage from your wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well.
That's cool.
And you know what else likes water? Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities. Use Lightning Storm with Entangle to make them last longer, and
That's
attach
cool.
more vines to each enemy, slowing them further.
Oh, the little
Summon
whips.
thrashing vines to slam at your enemies for a time.
Oh, that's a different
Any
skill.
that are created
Okay.
in water will be larger and deal more damage.
That's cool.
Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage.
And it looks like the lightning
Now,
version still
this
applies
last
the oil,
wyvern
which is
ability
nice.
just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage
That's
of them
cool.
after all. So fly
Although it
around
looks
and
like you
burn
can, yeah, he's still getting damaged while he's in it, so you gotta be really careful because it looks like it locks in your movement. I'm assuming you could dodge roll out of it like anything else, but still.
Now there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell totems.
Let's go.
Spell totems are meta gems that let you
So
create
what's a flame
totem
totem?
that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time.
That's
in order
awesome.
to create one, you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges.
I'm not.
You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning. Really,
3
the options
power
are kind of
charges,
endless.
huh?
Your bear form can easily
Sorry. So if they're making it 3 power charges per totem, I wonder if they're upping the base limit for totems. I don't think they would get rid of the limit because the soul mantle is there, right? So... Because what? We saw in the earlier part when they were showing it off, they had 3 flame totems, I think, right? In like a triangle around the boss. Or was that 2? I can't remember. I wonder if they're going to add... Well, I'm assuming they're putting in more support gems, but I'm wondering if they're putting in like multiple totem support and stuff like that then.
generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses.
That's true.
So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed.
We're doing
But
other
they're
classes,
also
though.
available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking about how best to take advantage of these.
I am so really excited for that.
Now, of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've
Oh,
added
there you
over
go.
30 new supports throughout the game,
30.
but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here. Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them.
So a cone
It's great
proliferate
for the Wyvern's
almost.
Wing Blast. But you can also use it on many other classes with wind skills, like the Twisters on the Huntress, or the Monk's Staggering Palm Projectiles.
Okay, so it's just a cone. It won't follow the entire wave of
Accelerated
the...
growth causes extra
wind.
explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain.
Oh. That's
And
funny.
Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield.
That's
It's great
cool.
for watering plants en masse, or to turn
You do a
tornadoes
storm
into
build?
a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well.
Oh, nice.
Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the druid's
1,
animal form
2.
Warcries, or
Looks
on
like
the
it echoed
warrior for a
twice.
nice power boost.
Yeah, 2
Grounding
echoes.
Shocks causes monsters you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to
More
melee.
lightning AoE.
You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear. There's a whole pile more, but we'll leave those for you to discover. Now with a new class comes
That's
new
awesome.
Ascendancy classes.
Oh,
The Druid
yes.
will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later. The first class is the Shaman. The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his
That's cool.
animalistic and magical tendencies. By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage
Grants it 2 rage. Every 2 rage grants more spell damage. So not increase,
the angrier you
more.
are. And with Furious Wellspring,
No inherent loss to rage. Regenerate 6% of your max rage per second. Increases and reductions to mana regeneration rate also apply to rage regeneration rate. Skills which are not default attacks cost 5 rage to use, plus 7 to max rage. Okay. So everything other than your default attacks will cost rage, but it increases the max rage and you constantly regenerate it.
you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells. With the knowledge of the Asmerian magic,
Additional benefits of bonded modifiers from runes and
the
idols.
Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman.
I don't know if I like that. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't like when it's kind of like this thing is given to this class, therefore others cannot use it at all. Like, for example, Smith of Kitava can customize their armor, but that doesn't mean that other people can't use body armor that have the similar statistics to them. But this is like 14% increased effect of fully broken armor is huge. Break armor on critical hit with spells equal to 12% of physical damage dealt. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. It's cool
These
in
new
and of
mods
itself.
unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build. You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying
that's
all
cool.
who would face nature's fury. There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class for now. The other Druid ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage.
I'm honestly surprised they don't have a minion class. I'm assuming this isn't a minion-based one. That might be the third ascendancy they add later, though. Like, especially with the wolf summons and the vines and stuff like that, but...
When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage.
That's cool. A little weird,
And with
but...
converging paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future, and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
So double damage for a while, pretty much.
And one of my favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the tree. By allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures.
Okay, so this falls in my previous point of they're getting passive skills now that only they can access?
And gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you.
Huh.
For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing their spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit.
That's cool.
Or Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death. Both
definitely
the
be
Druid ascendancies
hardcore.
offer interesting and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get. So we're expecting a huge
Yeah.
variety of build possibilities from these.
I mean, it is cool, don't get me wrong, but
Now,
I
there are
don't
unique
know.
talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon.
Okay, so it does say the talisman itself does say attacks per second. Molten Crash, Flammability, Magnitude, Reduce attack speed, Strength. Bear skills converts 80% of their physical damage to fire. Enemies in your presence have exposure and glory every 2 seconds.
Converting most of your damage to fire.
That's cool.
As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves
Oh,
fishes
that
around.
works with the charge, yeah.
This unique also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily.
That's
Now,
cool.
of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the fate of the Vaal.
Oh, here we go.
The palace of Queen Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines still churn. The temple has many functions, and with it,
Oh,
a
we
chance
were
to
right.
save the Vaal. A gateway through time.
It does look like an upgraded version of the temples.
Travel into the past again and again.
That's cool. It's got a little bit of... They changed it, though. It's got like a little bit of delve kind of feel to it a little bit.
Secrets. You will be rewarded for your sacrifice.
That looks unpleasant.
And somewhere in the deepest chamber, my queen awaits.
I beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do. It adores me.
Oh. But...
Come now, give unto me your desire. At last, fulfill my soul.
I think that's the first
Hi,
glimpse of the beast
I'm
we
Mark
get.
Roberts, game
Mark.
director on Path of Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast. They seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power, but not enough to fully activate it. It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and sometimes even stronger foes.
So it promotes exploring
On
early
fully
on.
activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on
It's Stargate,
activating it,
that's all it
you can
reminds
see
me
a
of.
map of the temple. Atziri's
Okay,
personal
that's cool.
chambers are on the far side, but how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice, and this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the
So it's a
dungeon,
9x9
and
grid.
place rooms beside them full of precious loot. After you are happy with your choices, open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On entering a room,
So you can
the
run it
doors
multiple
will slam
times.
shut behind you, and you will need to face the encounter within. But choose wisely. It's important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns. For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command.
That's cool.
With better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding.
There's the dodge
Different
again.
rooms have different requirements for leveling up. For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an adjacent golem works, and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After
That's cool.
doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much
Oh,
more
they do
dangerous.
hurt.
You don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up.
See, okay, I don't agree with this in the aspect of you don't need to know. You do need to learn. Because, for example, if you need those 3 separate rooms to upgrade the smithy, if you only get one of them, you need to actually know and leave room for the other one to be connected later once you find one. So you do need to actually kind of learn and pay attention to that too.
And exactly
Because this is like a new one, a new set of 6, and he already has those 3 down. So I'm assuming you're expanding it every time you run the same temple till you get all the way to Atziri.
what effect it will have on the temple. After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be
there you go.
removed. It will be
So
up
2.
to you to rebuild the temple.
Okay, so you gain 6 per time, but you lose 2, so you progress 4 rooms essentially every time you complete it.
Adding 6 more rooms each time you come back,
Okay.
making the temple larger and larger and larger.
That's cool.
So, that's the basic functionality of the temple. But there is a lot more. Once Doriani finds out about your travels to Leraval, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new mission.
I
The
can
temple
guess.
entrance contains a prototype of the time portal device. It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point. Right before Exile triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Val. He
So, boss
requests that
fight?
you go back and attempt to stop Exile to prevent the Val from ever being destroyed.
That looks cool.
Exile is on the far side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms. But while
He's doom
doing so,
scrolling.
you will probably want to exploit some of the Val technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you.
Oh,
And they have
okay.
some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be
Ooh.
used to corrupt a single item.
Okay.
But placing it next to a thaumaturge to run the place, and a sacrificial chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up.
Locus of
And
corruption.
it's worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had. In a level 3 corruption chamber, you will find this mysterious device. It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted.
Double
what will
corrupt,
happen to them?
Maybe?
Well, normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the capability to craft some very powerful items indeed. But be warned, the Val are all about taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
Oh, okay. It's kind of funny. So it's an item sync as well.
Each room has its own interesting mechanics
Which is interesting.
and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops, and in many cases, new crafting opportunities.
Sorry, modifies a corrupted skill gem. Okay. We're getting those. Do we get
For
Val?
example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Val construct to fight. But if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores.
Oh, soul cores, not gems.
Like Guatalizzi's thesis, which on boots allows you
So lose 5% of your max life per second while sprinting, but 25% increased movement speed while sprinting, or if it's in your helmet, gain armor equal to 25% of life lost from hits over the past 8 seconds. Oh, that's interesting. And in body armor, 25% of physical damage prevented or recouped as life.
to sacrifice your life to run faster. Or Sita Qualotl's thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires.
See, that's really cool too. Because, it does say limited to 1 ancient augment. Because I was thinking if you could put multiple in, that would be hilarious. Because then you could just use an offering to resummon a bunch of them, but I guess you can only have the 1.
Get a sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Val unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways.
Val unique.
One of the mods of this unique will be removed and
Replaces up to 2 modifiers on a corrupted Val unique. Replaces other uniques with a corrupted unique of the same item class. Okay. So you can also, like, if you have duplicates of uniques, you can use this to just try and get a random one as well.
replaced with another random mod.
Oh, so this is like Foulborn.
For example, this
Oh,
soul
speaking
mantle.
of.
It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die. By using the machine, this could result in a terrible
Oh.
item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the
So it's a
downside.
random selection. Huh.
Now, one extra thing to mention about these Val crafting machines. You don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple.
Well, that's nice.
If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead,
Ooh, more
allowing you
trade.
to do the craft later or trade it if you want. Now, there are all sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple, but the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Vaal Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab. But be careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather
boy.
unpleasant experiments in his personal lab. Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself? After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right leg.
Ugh.
Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose wisely.
Each
After
limb
getting
so you
up
can
from the
replace all
table,
four.
try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform better than your normal one. Now, there is just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state.
Oh.
You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next time.
That's cool, because then it promotes actually going back in.
Some rooms, like the Commander, can give you a new type of reward. Medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways. Using a Queeper medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up.
Okay.
And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple, allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time.
So it only lasts for one,
Great
though.
if you want to stock up on double corrupts. Now, with all that aside, time to
that's
face
a lot of
the
void damage.
Architect, and you will be in for a fight. Once defeated, you will find another console that can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards. There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency.
Adds fire damage.
But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments. Like this one, that can extract the socket balls back out of an item
Oh, nice.
at the cost of destroying it.
That's handy, I guess.
Now, something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the in-game. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Vaal works well for late-game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match. Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon,
Number of monster
and
packs.
these stack with each other. So in endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters. We also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often.
So kind of like how we stored Graft Blood.
Now, in each league, it's important that we have a new pinnacle boss to test your character's might. In the Fate of the Vaal, you will get to face Adziri while she was at the peak of her power. One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Vaal herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Adziri communes with the beast's power and takes her true corrupted form. Now, we are not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards.
That's cool.
This is Adziri's rule.
Increase max life
This
and
staff
cast
gives
speed,
additional levels to
intelligence.
all of your corrupted gems and lets you trade life for extra damage. But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a
I wonder
knot,
how long they
and
last
can
for
chain
if you
from
can
one
stock
to the
them
other.
up.
So, that's the Fate of the Vaal League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes.
Makes sense.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the League mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame. If you want to specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run. You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function.
Did they change the juice?
Now that Abyss is core, it also needs its own Atlas tree. You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options. You might just want more monsters and bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal.
Oh, so you can like
Or
force spread
make
it.
your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying. So, we have removed that.
Oh, there you go.
In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well.
Oh, they
This
just removed
mechanic
it.
felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content. But it was both annoying to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter. Instead,
Yep.
we are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each. Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency. Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from instilling, so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give. Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency, because
That's
it
good.
adds too much micromanagement. But on that note, Fate of the Val does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore,
It looks
we
better.
still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly, so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey. Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters.
Yeah.
In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after letting this simmer for a while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount.
Oh,
So to
okay.
be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life.
Okay.
In addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level. This only applies to regular monsters,
Not bosses, I'm
not
assuming.
bosses.
Yeah. Okay.
We have also reduced the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes, which
Oh, thank
also
goodness.
helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The
Aw.
scope was a bit too large,
Got
and
creeped
so
a
we
little
need
bit.
to wait until 050 for that. But rest assured,
fair.
there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon.
Which is what a lot of
Now,
people are looking
another
for.
problem that becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance.
Yes.
And we have done a lot of work here.
So I have a friend that tried playing on consoles and it would just keep crashing because of this in the later game, so they stopped playing. So I'm glad they are working on this.
The primary issue is CPU load. And to address that, a lot of things have been optimized. And we have done a lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores.
Nice.
You should see frame rates of at least 25% higher. And a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay.
That's nice.
It does make quite a big difference.
Yeah, from 51 to
especially on
90.
consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months.
Nice. I'm
Of
glad.
course, another important area is game balance. and we have made a lot of changes. Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers. As well as adding 11 new unique items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often. We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others,
Nice.
with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava. Alongside the 20 plus new druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills
90.
across all the different classes.
Wow.
And to top it all off,
Oh.
there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive tree.
Of course.
These changes should go a long
Love it.
way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs.
Of course.
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Precursor series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. First up, the Marble Statue character effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble.
I was trying to think
When you next move, the stone crumbles around you.
if the Smith the Katava now will be a good option
Precursors had
for a
mastery
bear
over
tank.
gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal.
But everyone's
Witness the
probably going
power
to
of
be
its
playing
pull as you
Druid
approach it.
because of the new passive nodes
Draw
that
in
only the
enemies
Druid
with
can
your own
access.
gravitational pull with the Awakened Precursor armor set. The Precursors designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one
Little
used to serve as
rolly
a
bug.
scout that would patrol and tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the Master of the Forge can do it for you?
Last
Molten gold spills
Patch,
out
he didn't
as
even
the
give
Forge
me
Master
the
breaks
items I
down your
needed for my
items.
quest. Why would I want him to work on my stuff?
The relic of the Precursor's map device is a mysterious machine that sits atop ancient colossal statues. It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your Precursor tablets used in the device.
That's cool.
The Kalgurin pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
I got a level up effect.
The Kalgurins had astounding skill in astronomy, being able to track cosmic events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the Astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat.
That's cool.
The time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of. Crush unique
Reach
enemies
level 30 in
by
10
unleashing
seconds.
The wrath of the lost Kalgurin fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself. A Kalgurin seafarer needs armor fit for the treacherous seas of Rayclast.
And the spiky peg leg.
This set has you covered, with the classic tricorn, and of course, a peg leg. The Lost Treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true raider of the seas. These gilded weapons can be applied to
That
wands,
looks cool. I
two-hand
didn't like the
maces,
sword.
and shields.
Shield's nice.
After a long day of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout, a home of some of the most deadly, ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant kraken, waiting for its prey.
That's funny.
As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. All right, let's jump back over here for a moment. Well, that was interesting. I'm trying to think over some specifics here, but I mean, the bear form does look really cool. I really hope there's a way of doing an ice dragon, though. Because we have the demon form unique talisman, which is for bear. But they didn't show much else from that. Also, the new passive nodes are cool. Obviously, I haven't seen any of them yet, so can't really say specifics, but that's really cool. Definitely looking forward to it. Alright, for our YouTube people, thank you so much. We're going to be starting over the patch notes in a moment here, so hopefully you join me for that. But as always, thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on your time zone. Thanks again, YouTube. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Alright. So,